Hi, I'm Kylie, just another Army vet. Today I'm reacting to a video from the bFBS Creative channel, which makes a lot of awesome content. Please go check their channel out. I will leave a link down below. The title of the video is Norway, the Royal Marines Rite of Passage. So this is about UK's Royal Marine Commandos and their role in a NATO training exercise called Cold Response. But this is actually a very large training exercise. It usually involves 35,000 soldiers, 200 plus aircraft, and about 26 or 27 countries. And the sole purpose of the exercise is to test NATO and its ability to defend Norway in case it's ever invaded. So as you guys probably know, Finland was just recently ratified into NATO, so now Sweden is just waiting on Turkey and Hungary to actually ratify them. They predict that in May, after Turkey has some elections, then they will probably agree to ratify Sweden. And then once that happens, then Hungary should actually follow Turkey's lead and ratify Sweden. So in the next few months, we do expect to see Sweden as a part of NATO. Let's get to it. Gorgeous.
You'll find little sign of life in the Norwegian mountains. It stays dark for months.
The Northern Lights.
And temperatures plummet to minus 35 degrees.
I would love to see it in person one day.
Landscapes like this want to hurt you. They want to kill you. Unless, of course, you're trained to thrive. The Royal Marine Commandos are the UK's Arctic warfare experts. They've spent over half a century honing their unique skill set hundreds of miles inside the Arctic Circle.
I'm already loving the cinematography of this video. I mean, this is just great. Did you guys notice that one commando's mask, it had like a black mouth or nose piece? I'm not sure what it's for, but if I were to guess, it's to help prevent his goggles from fogging up when he puts his goggles on. If you know for sure what it does, then please drop it in the comments.
A deployment to Norway is often seen as a rite of passage in the Marines. The making of a bootneck.
So for those of you who don't know, bootneck is a nickname for a Royal Marine Commando.
I spent 4.5 years as a Marine and never got a chance to visit Norway. But I'm about to spend a week here to see what all the buzz is about. Let's get stuck in.
Beautiful. That awesome drone shot.
The Marines come to northern Norway to take part in Exercise Cold Response, an annual exercise involving 35,000 troops from 28 countries, designed to test NATO's ability to protect Norway in case war breaks out in the region. But before the Royal Marines take part in the joint exercise, they need to learn the basics, and that responsibility falls on the shoulders of the mountain leaders.
So I'm guessing that the mountain leaders are some sort of unit within the Royal Marine Commandos. If someone wants to clarify, I would appreciate it. But I also wanted to mention that Sweden also has similar artic training for their Jägersoldat or their hunter soldiers. The trainers actually teach them just what to actually do if they ever fall through the ice like that.
The Royal Marines are set apart from the rest of the British military, mainly by the fact that we do Arctic training. This is a huge beast and it consumes quite a large portion of our training year, even just to beat up to the mountain training in Scotland and then a 3-month deployment to Norway. And it's the fact that it is just so difficult to operate out here. It sets you up for operations all over the world in the harshest of conditions.
These guys are a specialist branch of the Royal Marines, a cut above the rest when it comes to soldiering in extreme environments. We made it out here in time to see the Royal Marines consolidate their skills through live fire exercises.
Those vehicles are not called cats, are they? Or what are they actually called? Look at those cool snowshoes they have.
Involving some big weapons.
Soldiering is tricky business. You've got the enemy to worry about, your weapon system, fire support malleting a position, But in the cold, I imagine it's a different ballgame.
Right then, guys, what's going to happen is Charlie Company will leave.
The cold just makes everything that much harder, even when it comes down to getting in and out of a vehicle, to loading and unloading your weapon.
Harbour position, and they'll manoeuvre around on the Viking ski ring. They'll get to a drop-off point. Once they're at that drop-off point, they'll convert to their skis. From there, they'll cross an RV point into snowshoe. So effectively, which is their LLD, their line of departure. From there, they'll move around this feature, and they're heading towards the tank hole.
Gorgeous. Wow.
The Royal Marines are also the UK's amphibious specialist. This means that most of the time, wherever you find the Marines, you'll find boats.
We've been invited to watch 539 Assault Squadron conduct some of their amphibious drills, and we get to have a ride on one of those.
I'm not sure what those boats are called. Might be nicknamed orcs. I'm not sure.
We're about to slip on one of the orcs. We're going to be following on as they practice their break contact drills out in the open ocean.
I can't imagine how cold they are, because just on the land it's what, negative 30 degrees Celsius or Fahrenheit, and here they are on the water getting a little wet with that horrible wind chill. I mean, it's probably negative 60, negative 65 degrees. And even if they're all bundled up in their artic gear, you know they're still cold because that wind rips right through that stuff.
As we're sat here where the enemy craft now, you've got the boat group coming in, the 5 support vessels closest to the threat on the left hand side with the big guns on the .5s. They'll see the enemy threat, which is us, and they'll sweep off away from the target with the guns pointing to the rear, engaging the target, with the troop carrying vessels furthest away from the threat.
So I'm assuming that for the amphibious operation that they're using blanks, just because of the close proximity, but I'm not sure.
The temperature and the weather, obviously the biggest challenge out here, especially out on the water, because we've got the wind chill, as well as obviously the water that freezes instantly as well. And if we're heading off down the fjord at a boat group at like 30 knots into a 30 knot wind, it can quickly become down to minus 60 plus.
If you agree that this video has some of the most amazing cinematography, then please smash that like button, and please go to the original video and smash that like button as well.
Their role has carried through since the Second World War, where groups of Royal Marines ran ashore 800 kilometres south from here at Namsos. Just as it was during the First World War, Norway was neutral, hoping to stay out of what was rapidly evolving in mainland Europe. Nazi Germany had other plans. In 1940, they launched attacks from the air, sea, and land. Norway's military was underfunded and weak because of its pacifist policies. They needed help from their allies, and fast. The Royal Marine Commandos were sent in to recapture key ports around Norway and prevent a German advance north.
How long have the Royal Marine Commandos been around? If you know, please drop it in the comments.
Prowling undetected through the bleak North Sea, ships of the Royal Navy steam silently toward 2 Nazi-held Norwegian islands. Aboard are commandos, the hard-hitting British blitz troops. All night, hand grenade fuses are set, for dawn will bring lightning landing thrusts at strategic Nazi bases.
Important in all of this was the port at Namsos. The Allies saw the port as a good spot to land troops and set up logistics, crucial to the successful defeat of the Nazis in Norway. Under the command of Captain Eds, a small team of Royal Marines arrived ashore, eventually leading to the successful occupation of Namsos and the seizure of bigger ports along the coast. And so, the bond between the Royal Marines and the Norwegians was forged.
Bootnecks do see Norway as a rite of passage. The training that we do here is some of the hardest across the whole of the world. And at the moment, we've maybe got between 50 and 70% of the whole force trained in Arctic warfare. So for those that haven't done it, they do feel like they're missing out.
There's clearly a rich history, but what is it about Norway which makes Royal Marines tick today?
What weapon is that?
Every year, the Royal Marines visit their Norwegian neighbours, maintaining their cold weather skills whilst demonstrating their commitment to one of their closest NATO allies. But I've learned that the going isn't easy. Of course, Norway isn't the only place in the Arctic that British forces will deploy. There are other places just as hostile and just as significant.
I can't imagine jumping to that ice water. I mean, that would be hell for me. I hate the cold. Oh. How about you guys? So Norway is such a beautiful country. I hope to go there one day. Same with Sweden and Finland. As well traveled as I am, I definitely have not been to any of the Nordic countries. But hopefully one day I can. But anyway, I really did enjoy this video. It was put together well, and the editing and the cinematography was just amazing. Thank you guys for watching. If you could please give me a sub if you haven't already. And if you do want to watch another video just like this, I have one for you right here.